Hello, today we're working on a crayon resist. So I'm going to do this kind of fun fall night picture. And what I'm going to do is I'm using really bright colors in my sky. So I got my moon, and I'm going to add some wispy, maybe spooky clouds. And I'm using the white crayon because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over the sky with watercolor to make it a night sky. So I'm going to add all my colors now. If I want a few stars, I'm going to add a little few dots that maybe are stars. Okay, I'm going to add some dark mountains. I'm just using crayons. I'm going to start my mountains off with some purple. Purple's a good dark color for something at night. I might add some. I've decided to make maybe a little pumpkin patch with the mountains behind it. So I'm going to add some pumpkins here before I finish my mountains. Different shapes. So this one's the biggest pumpkin and it's the closest to me. So I'm trying to make them different sizes and in kind of different places, and that will show that it's a whole field of pumpkins. So they're going to be different sizes, different distances from me. So I'm just making a few pumpkins here and there. So I might even put another littler pumpkin right next to this one behind it. So now the next step for me, I would need some stems, and I need to color in all these pumpkins. And these pumpkins are all attached, so I'm going to have these vines that curl to some big leaves, because these are, since this is a pumpkin patch, everything's still attached. So I'm going to fill in more of my pumpkins and add some more details. Okay, so I'm putting the finishing touches on my pumpkin patch. I've added leaves and some of the dirt showing through from the field, and I also have lots of pumpkins. I also filled in all the rest of my mountains, and I did 2 shades of purple. You also can put in some gray would work in the mountains, like some of these spots I might add a little gray, but then I think I'm ready for my sky. I'm going to think about your night sky and what colors it can be. You could use black, you could use blues, a combination of blues and blacks, even a little purple. So let me get my paints so we can add that to this painting to make it a crayon resist. So I have my paint ready, and you need to maybe decide on what kind of brush you want. This is kind of a medium-sized brush. I might want to go with the larger brush. This is a little larger brush, and I'm going to use this to create a wash over my crayons. And it's a crayon resist because the wax of the crayon, the paint does not like to stick there. So I'm just going to take some combination of colors. I'm going to take some blue. I'm going to have lots of blue. I'm going to have a little purple. And then I'm going to add a little black, but black is a really strong color. So I need to be careful with it so I don't get it too dark. Okay, I'm going to test this out. I kind of like that color. So I'm going to take my color and I'm just going to wash it. As you can see, you want it a little watery, because if it's not watery enough, it'll start to try to cover it up. And I'm just going to go over my sky. And as you see, it's painting right over my moon and my clouds. And I don't want all the color to be exactly the same because it is. colors will pull and stuff. You also, since if you want to, I'm going to go over my mountains. And the reason I'm going over my mountains because I'm going to create that really dark color in my mountains to cover up any little white spots that are in there. And as you see, I did a lot of coloring, so there's not a lot to paint in. But what I am going to paint in is going to darken my mountains a lot more. It's darkening the mountains.